Imagine waking up 10,000 years ago with two impossible objects, a modern gun and a bomb. You look around. There are no roads, no electricity, no cities, only forests, rocks, fire, and small human communities. Then you realize something terrifying. You are carrying technology thousands of years ahead of everyone around you. The Stone Age humans have never seen anything like it. They understand stone. They understand wood. They understand fire. But they have never seen a machine capable of creating such a powerful effect. So what happens next? At first, probably confusion. The people around you would not automatically understand what these objects are. They might see the gun as a strange tool. The bomb might look even more mysterious. Some might think the objects are connected to supernatural forces. And then comes the most interesting part. They would want to understand them. How was it made? What is it made from? Why does it behave differently from their tools? Why can something so small create such a dramatic effect? But here's the problem. Seeing advanced technology is not the same as understanding it. And understanding it is not the same as being able to reproduce it. A modern weapon is not just one invention. It represents thousands of years of accumulated knowledge. Behind it are miners, metalworkers, chemists, engineers, scientists, factories, transportation networks, and millions of people contributing to the same technological system. You brought the weapon, but you did not bring the civilization that created it. And that changes everything. Imagine the Stone Age humans watching you from a distance. They already know how to make tools. They know how to work with stone. They know how to shape wood. They know how to control fire. They are not unintelligent. They are simply living at a different point in human history. So they might become fascinated by your technology. They could study its appearance. They could observe its effects. They could try to understand the materials. But there would be a massive gap between seeing the future and building the future. And that gap is thousands of years wide. Now imagine the psychological effect. One unfamiliar object suddenly appears in a world where technology is extremely simple. People would talk about it. Stories would spread. Different communities could hear about the mysterious stranger carrying impossible objects. Some might fear you. Others might want to follow you. And some might want the technology for themselves. This creates a completely different problem. Power. Because whenever humans discover something valuable, someone eventually wants control over it. Your technology could change relationships between different groups. It could create fear. It could create alliances. It could even change which communities become powerful. But would it let you conquer the Stone Age? Probably not forever. And here is why. Modern technology depends on modern infrastructure. Once the supplies you brought are gone, you cannot simply replace them. There is no modern factory nearby, no laboratory, no industrial supply chain, no team of engineers waiting to produce replacements. Your advantage would slowly disappear, and the bomb creates an even bigger problem. Once it is used or lost, it is simply gone. You cannot walk into a Stone Age workshop and recreate modern industry overnight. You cannot replace thousands of years of chemistry, engineering, and manufacturing with one clever person. The real power was never inside the object alone. The real power was the civilization behind it. Think about that. A modern weapon may look like a single invention, but behind that object is an enormous invisible network. People, knowledge, resources, machines, factories, science, transportation, and generations of experimentation. Remove that network, and the object becomes a temporary advantage. But there is something you could bring that would be much harder to run out of. Knowledge. Imagine teaching ancient humans ideas about agriculture, writing, mathematics, medicine, engineering, astronomy. Even simple improvements in organization could change their future. You would not just be giving them a strange object. You would be giving them information about what humanity could eventually become. And perhaps that would be more powerful than any weapon, because weapons can change a moment. Knowledge can change generations. The Stone Age was not a world without intelligence. It was a world before many of our technologies existed. Those people already had imagination. They already invented. They already adapted. They were already changing the world around them. Eventually, their descendants would build villages, then cities, then machines, then computers, and eventually a civilization capable of creating the very objects you carried back in time. So if you could really travel to the Stone Age, what should you bring? A gun, a bomb, or something far more powerful? A library, because the greatest advantage of the modern world was never a single weapon. It was everything humanity learned before creating it. And that changes how we should see technology. The object is only the visible part. The real invention is the knowledge behind it.